Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another Supatease video, and we've got the return of the monster. The Guardian Druid is back. You thought it was gone. You thought they had banished it to be forsaken forever after its round of nerfs, but it is apparently back, and I gave it a little bit of an experimentation test to see, how good or competitive or viable it could be as an option in 3v3, and I was surprisingly impressed with how easy it was in some matchups. Now, depending on what class you pair up with the Guardian Druid is going to create advantages and disadvantages. This version of the Guardian Druid playing with a Demon Hunter and a Resto Shaman was particularly impressive into Demonology Warlocks. We did not lose a single game into a Demonology Warlock, and we were kind of able to overrun and steamroll all of them. But I think if you paired this up with a Fury Warrior, it would open up better options into other comps as well. But if you're looking for something that's completely different, I feel like we tilted a couple of RMPs as well. So if you're interested in trying to do that, this was definitely a good comp to do. And might be a decent comp to just kind of climb to 2,400. In this video, we're playing at like 2,800 to 3,000 arena rating for the first time. Like, we'd never played this comp, never tried these strategies, haven't really got an expansive view of Guardian Druid for this expansion yet. So I'm sure that things could even improve and be better from where they are in this video specifically, which is just really shining how powerful the potential of this class can be. The main strengths of it are going to be the legendary that makes your incarnation provide you immunity to CC and increase your damage by a flat amount. I was running a Kyrian Guardian Druid in these games, although Venthyr could be super fun. I think at lower rating, Venthyr is probably better for getting massive damage during your incarnation. And what you're trying to do is use your incarnation to predict enemy crowd control. So activate it to immune their go and then push them over and steamroll them. You can use Barkskin to also activate incarnation. So this way you can immune CC and gain access to your 4-piece, which just does massive AoE damage. And that's kind of what you're going to see in the video that we're watching here in this first clip, which is just targeting the Demonology Warlock, trying to get our Thrash up, using Incarnation to activate our 4-piece, getting our Thrash fully stacked up, and then trying to use Mangle to get stacks of our Conduit. If we use 3 Mangles, it's going to increase the damage of our next Maul by a lot. And I was getting like 10,000 non-crit Mauls with all of my cooldowns up. So when Incarn's up, you should just be spamming Mangle, keeping Thrash stacks high on all the pets and stuff like that to cleave down multiple targets. I'm using my Survival Instincts here, and I'm using my Boon of Empowerment to give double versatility to my Demon Hunter and provide some damage mitigation during all of their cooldowns. So we're just trying to run down the Warlock and tank them. So after our incarnation is over, we can use our Barkskin to activate incarnation again to get massive damage and kind of get these Mangle stacks into Maul. I feel like I may be focusing a little bit too much on Thrash. That's probably a habit I built from playing Guardian in Battle for Azeroth, but definitely with single target, Mangle into Mauls is going to be what you want to do. We off-kick the Priest with the Skull Bash. You can see we're not even 30 seconds into this game, and the Death Knight's at half health. The Warlock's at 20% health. They don't know what to do. You also have Cyclone in this expansion as Guardian, so I can Cyclone the Priest to put pressure there. We can root targets. We've got the same type of utility as the Balanced Druid almost, with this massive swell of single target and AoE damage during our burst. We bash the Priest out of an in-cap Cyclone, and then we can use our Barkskin here to go immune to CC to get access to our 4-piece for a few seconds to start AoE down the Warlock even further and kind of just crush them and overwhelm them with damage. You got a lot of utility with Demo Roar to reduce damage of enemy attacks as well. I'd recommend that Honor talent. If you're interested in a Guardian Druid guide, like you want talents, you want conduits and stuff like that, let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on the channel because it's going to help support me in creating content, expanding everything that's available in PvP right now. We use Imprison here onto the Priest. We can chain Imprison into Cyclone, but ultimately I think we're going to be able to just kill the Warlock. We're not even a minute into this game. What was that? Like a minute and 5 seconds. We were able to beat a team as a Guardian Druid. We're doing like 10k DPS in about a minute. So very impressive in the matchups that it is powerful into. I think we had a game against RMP that was also had a very interesting way of ending. We couldn't really figure out how to win the game. It was like we were struggling for most of the round. We were just trading our cooldowns, staying alive. But what we realized is deeper in dampening, to just target the Holy Priest and coordinate our cooldowns all together. So playing the Earth Elemental Legendary for the Resto Shaman, using our Incarnation, Deepen Dampening, and using Metamorphosis, and then just trinketing during our cooldowns to purge the priest and attack the priest, because the Fire Mage, not a good target, is likely impossible to kill. Outlaw Rogue, also not a target, likely impossible to kill, but Holy Priest, if we're able to get uptime with our cooldowns, we can definitely take them out, and that's how we were able to win against the Outlaw version of RMP. I think if you're fighting Subtlety, the Subtlety Rogue is definitely a better option than the Priest, but you got to do some ridiculous things to be able to beat Outlaw RMP right now in the meta. So we're just riding the priest. We've got our empowerment on the demon hunter. We could switch it to the shaman. The shaman's the main target here. We're trying to put bash and cyclone and hex into the mage to remove them from the fight, to prevent them from resetting buffs, to prevent them from CCing us, so we can get uptime onto the holy priest while trying to keep whoever they're attacking alive. So here we're using cyclone. If we get interrupted, it's not a big deal. Our shaman's in a kidney shot right now. We've got demo roar, so we can kind of move over here and then demo roar. They're all doing 20% less damage now. To my Resto Shaman, you just got to make sure you're close to the target to do that. We can off heal with Rejuve and Swiftmend if we need to. Keep Moonfires up for just some cleave damage here into dampening. Throw out some off heals. We're really just trying to stay alive here so we can sync all of our cooldowns together for one big wave push on the priest and just overwhelm them, because this is really the only way to penetrate through the defense and survivability of this composition right now, is to get into the deep dampening so that the healing of the holy priest is reduced significantly, and then have every cooldown swell damage to a point where they get overwhelmed and ultimately die. So right here we're pushing towards the priest for our final push, but they're using combust to try and scare us away, so we're gonna have to make some big cooldown trades if we're gonna make this strategy work. So we're gonna drop our darkness. We're just gonna focus on off healing. We drop Spirit Link Totem to stay aggressive here, because this is where we need to line everything up. We've got every single cooldown. We can empower to boost our Demon Hunter's damage. We can pop Incarnago Immune to CC, get our cosmic damage going, and start AoEing down the target. So we stun the target, and we're going to pop every cooldown that we've got. The Dwayne, the Incarn, get our Thrash stacks up as fast as possible, and then go into that Mangle rotation. I'm trying to get 3 Mangles before you maul, so that your mauls are doing extra single target damage. And with the Spam Purge, with the aggressive trinkets, we're able to overwhelm the Holy Priest and bring the Holy Priest down deep and dampening. So finding that one big hit. Now at lower rating with lesser skilled RMPs, you can probably cleave other targets and you won't need to do this strategy as much if you're just trying to like climb rating at a lower bracket. But at the higher ratings, or if you're struggling with RMPs and you're not sure how to win, this is what I would recommend, is just survive until deep dampening, then use the Dwayne legendary where you've got Earthquake Elemental and run at the priest, stun, trinket, purge. Everything is aggressive for those couple of seconds to overwhelm the priest and take them out. And then obviously the mage and rogue will follow suit after you've managed to do that. So these were some of the strategies, what I found to be effective with this specialization. Just thought I should bring it to your attention if you're interested in trying something new, if you're kind of bored of the same meta or running into some frustrating matchups, which is what happened to me with my balanced druid on this night. So you know what, I decided to turn to the dark side for a moment and kind of had some fun with some gimmicks. Some matchups were frustrating though. Figuring out how to deal with cleaves seems to be the next step. I think if you play with a different class than a demon hunter again, like a fury warrior, that those matchups might become a bit better, and I would recommend likely Fury Warrior, Guardian Druid, Resto Shaman if you really want to try and climb with this spec. But just something fun, kind of funny to laugh at and try and make work. So I hope that you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching.